Hello. This is Victoria. We're back. This is episode 7. Wow, that's great. Yeah, I'm very proud of this. I do want to start by saying like, thank you to everyone who listens. I appreciate like when I get text messages saying like, you know, this is just what I needed to hear, or this was a very timely message, because I always say like, if I can just touch or impact like one person, I'm good. Like my job is done. Obviously we want to impact more, but that always makes my heart happy that, you know, my words are being heard, they're being received, and they're being appreciated. So I thank y'all. So what's up? What's new? I just got back from Denver. Super fun. Had a blast. Was with 2 of my friends from high school. It was amazing. The scenery's crazy. Like waking up and there are just mountains everywhere. I'm obsessed with mountains. So it was a blessing of a trip. Great bonding experience. I will be back. It was very much my brand. So yeah, if you haven't been to Denver, check it out. So what are we talking about this week? We are talking about the power of waiting expectantly. A few weeks ago, I think it was like what episode was it? I think it was episode 5. I was talking about like, you know, going through my situation with like experiencing anger and just like being angry with God about like the season that I was in, but, you know, also using that range of emotions that I have to just like fully express that, and using the expression of those emotions to also bring me closer to God, which it has. But it was shortly after recording that episode that, you know, I was meditating on my Bible. And I do this thing sometimes where when I don't know necessarily like where to look in the Bible, I'll honestly just open a random page. And a lot of the times it is exactly what I need. And so I just flipped open my Bible and it landed on Psalms 25. And so I just started reading, and I read all the way through, I'm pretty sure it was to chapter 29. And like, it was a message. It was a great message. And then beyond that, with those chapters, that was the first time I got this like pull to spend the next couple of days just like rereading and meditating on those chapters. And so that's what I did. So for the next, I think probably for about a week, honestly, I would just wake up, I would open my Bible, and I would read Psalms 25 through 29 and read them out loud and just keep reading them and rereading them. And what just was continuously laid on my heart was just like this spirit of waiting expectantly on the Lord, and trusting in him and knowing that he doesn't abandon you, even when you're going through the toughest of times. And even within those chapters, it discusses how, you know, it discusses someone being like, not having their parents or being abandoned by their parents and just going through like the darkest of situations. But even in all of that, waiting expectantly because you know that God's going to make a way. And I think reading those words really just set off something in my brain, that was what I needed to work on. Like that was my task, to sit and wait expectantly. I am not the most patient person. I'm also very stubborn. So waiting is just not something I'm like the best at necessarily. I definitely am part of that like instant gratification, team instant gratification, which isn't always the best. But it definitely encouraged me to just be patient and listen to the path, like the ways that God was asking me to go in. It also has brought me tremendously closer to him. Because in waiting expectantly, it's like when you wait expectantly, it's just like, you know, things might not look great right now, but God, I know something's coming. And it instilled like this confidence in me where I was just like, I don't know what's coming around. I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know what's going on. But I expect you to move, and I expect you to do something great in this season, in this situation. And it brought a great level of peace and a great level of comfort. I found myself like not overthinking things, not trying to piece everything together, figure everything out. I found that, as certain doors have opened for me over these past couple of weeks, that waiting expectantly, it causes me not to jump ahead of the process. It causes me to trust the process, forces me to be patient with the process. And I'm finding like that is just so much more enjoyable than, what I would typically do. And it makes you just appreciating the process. I feel like a lot of the times we don't, we're so focused on the end goal. I mean, speaking for myself, obviously, but I feel like we're so focused on the end goal and, what's going to work out, what's going to happen, how is this going to end, that we don't take a step back and look at the beauty of like, just relying fully on him and maintaining like high levels of hope. Because I feel like waiting expectantly on something, like when you're expecting, like expectations are a big thing. But it matches the person that you're expecting them from, because we serve a big God. And for me, I think this period has really just shown me like how big he is. It's helping me to fully start to realize that more and more each day, that he wants you to wait expectantly. He wants you to look to him to do big things that you don't know that you can do. You don't trust that you can do. Like, you recognize that you don't have the ability to make things move the way he does. And I feel like it was because of that spirit of expectancy that, things are coming together. I'm definitely still waiting expectantly. But even in that waiting, it's like I really am just like settling into myself. I'm calm. I'm trusting this process. And it's almost like this, not cocky necessarily, but like, I think I already said it. Yeah, like I said, like it's just like this very solid confidence, knowing like this is about to pop off and it's going to be glorious, because that's who God is. Like, he literally makes a way out of no way, because 2 weeks ago I was telling y'all that had that job opportunity, it didn't work out, and that stripped me down to a point of like complete surrender and submission. And in doing that, I just kept trucking along and just trusting God, and then reading those chapters and, having that faith and still doing the work. It's just like a beautiful, perfect storm of everything eventually coming together. And what I'm even finding now in learning of like waiting expectantly, it also makes me bold. It's made me bolder in like my requests to him. It's given me a lot of clarity. So it's like when I am talking to God and I'm praying to him, I'm finding that like I'm a lot more confident, a lot more bolder in like the things that I say to him, and the things that I'm like, I'm trusting you to do this. I let him know like the desires of my heart, which is so weird to me sometimes, because I'll like not say certain things to God, but it's just like he knows what you want. He knows the desires of your heart. So you might as well just like say it and make it clear and make it plain. And for me, that's been very liberating, just to like say what I want. And I feel like that even carries over into just my interactions with other people, of just being very clear and confident in like how I'm speaking and what I'm saying. And, claiming the things that I want for myself or for other people. It's impacting like my prayer life. Like I said, like speaking to God, just being very open and honest, because like I said, like he already knows. So it's not like anything you say will surprise him. But it's a really nice place for me to be in. And it's a place that I'm really looking forward to continuing to grow in. Because like I said, like it gives you a lot of peace. Like once I wrap my head around the concept of just like, even when nothing's going on, just like waiting and knowing that something's going to happen, like it's a crazy experience. Like it's hard for me to describe it sometimes, but it's something that I would definitely encourage anyone who like is in a season of like uncertainty or you're just doubting everything, is to sit and reflect on like, what do you want? Like, what do you feel like God wants for you? Or, you know, even like, what do you want for yourself? And making that known, and then literally like waiting expectantly. And I really do encourage y'all to go and read those chapters, Psalms 25 through 29, because it really was transformational for me. And it's one of those things of like, you know who God is, like you hear who he is, but it's another to actually meditate on it, witness it for yourself, and like implement that fully in your life. It's like you're putting the work in to actually understand him, to actually grow with him and know who he is. And it's honestly like, I love it. I really do. Like, I'm just loving the season that I am in, that I'm transitioning into now, of being in a place of complete submission. Because like I said, me being stubborn, like that's hard for me sometimes. I like to think that I can just like control everything, and I can't, nor can you. But I would just encourage you to, one, not lose hope. It's very easy to give up, like very easy to give up. But I think it takes strong will and strong character and strong faith to, in spite of all of that, like sit there and still say like, it's about to pop off. Because people might also look at you like you're crazy in certain situations, but that doesn't matter. But no, it's a beautiful thing. And I'm finding also that like, I'm just like, in addition to the peace, I'm also just so much happier. And I'm also just so much more grateful for the space that I am in. I'm in a space of like extreme contentment. Is that a word? Yeah, it is. A place of extreme contentment. And it feels good. It feels good to not be like, you know, constantly looking around and like searching and like wanting and reaching and wondering like, why can I not attain these things? But it's like, honestly, probably because your faith isn't strong enough, or God's waiting for you. God's waiting on you to submit to him so that he can take control, like actually handing everything over in your life to him so he can take control, and quickly also make you realize like, you can't do this alone. Like, anytime someone at this point, like anytime someone like emails me back or like responds to an application or just responds to anything that I do, you know, I give that to God, because I'm like, that's nothing I can control. I know I do the work, but after that, like God really has his hand on everything. And, I mean, I'll even, I guess, go deeper into this. I usually don't share when I'm applying for things, but I'll go deeper into this and say that shortly after, you know, reading those chapters and meditating on that and really putting those words into my heart, you know, I sent out 2 new job applications, and I heard back from both of them. Y'all, I've been applying for jobs for months. And this was the first time that like I was hearing back from anyone. And it just felt so good, but it also just further proved my point of like, I needed to hand that over to him and fully surrender this process to him And now he is moving. And I am thankful. But I also was coming from a place of expecting him to move this way. And he's doing it in a way that I could not have even imagined. And it's just a beautiful thing. And I really do love it. I'm so serious. I can't express that enough. Like, it is just such a nice place to be in. And so, yeah, again, I encourage y'all, read those chapters. They are amazing. And I will keep y'all posted on how this goes. But be encouraged. I love y'all. Continue being great. With love, V.